Are you ready to unlock the secret language of the modern digital world? Every time you check the weather or buy a coffee, an API is making it happen. But how do you manage hundreds of these conversations without everything falling apart? Welcome to the ultimate guide to Azure API Management. In this course, we're going to transform you from a tech novice into a digital architect. We'll show you how to build a rock-solid foundation, lock your digital doors with world-class security, and use versioning to grow your business without breaking a single app. Whether you're a startup or a global giant, you'll learn how to harness the full power of the Azure ecosystem, from AI-powered assistants to automated workflows. Don't just build APIs, master the strategy that turns them into powerful, secure products. Ever wonder how the digital world works? Our friendly caterpillar friend has an answer. Think of it like a conversation. Your weather app constantly talks to a weather server, and your watch communicates with a coffee shop register. These are API calls. But when you have hundreds of these connections, things get chaotic, and managing them becomes a massive challenge. Enter Azure API Management, or APIM. Think of it as a sophisticated air traffic controller for digital conversations. It sits between the API consumers and backend systems, ensuring the correct requests get through safely and efficiently. It is built on three main pillars. First, the API gateway acts as a security guard and front door, validating users, setting rate limits, and caching answers to speed things up. Second, the developer portal is like a library, a self-service website where developers can explore APIs, read the rules, and sign up to build apps. And third, the management plane is the control room, providing API owners with usage charts, tools to set new rules, and a place to fix problems. Why is this so important? Modern applications are moving from massive, complex monoliths to dozens of small, independent microservices. APIM acts as the central hub, bringing these pieces together into one cohesive and manageable system. Setting up an API management instance is a lot like preparing a new office. Before you open for business, you need a physical building. That's your APIM instance, your dedicated space in the Azure cloud. You get to choose the building size based on your business, picking from a pay-as-you-go consumption plan all the way up to a heavy-duty premium plan. Next, you need to stock your office with services. The good news is you don't always have to create these services from scratch in Azure. If you already have existing APIs, you just want to register them with the management service. This is incredibly easy. You simply upload a blueprint file like an open API description, and APIM will automatically build the necessary endpoints for you to begin managing them. To get these services out to your customers, you package them into products to control access. Think of it like a subscription model. You could group APIs to create a free starter pack that allows a customer to check the weather just 10 times a day. For more serious users, you offer a paid Pro Pack, providing thousands of checks plus extra features like wind speeds. This makes controlling access and offering value-tiered services incredibly straightforward. When you're done, you have a central management hub. It's a cohesive, manageable network where all your independent pieces are tied together in a single, secure, and organized system. Securing your digital assets, locking the API doors. Consider your APIs as the doors to your company's valuable data, which means security must be the lock. Without proper management, you are in a risky situation where malicious users could cause data stealing or even crash your systems. But with proper management, your data is locked and safe. The gold standard for achieving this is combining OAuth 2.0 with Microsoft Entra ID, formerly known as Active Directory. You can think of this process as a digital ID badge system. Here is how it works. A user initiates an access request, and Entra ID requires that the user proves their identity. Once the identity is proven, a digital key or token is issued. The user then presents this digital key to the APIM gateway. Finally, we use policies to keep the bad guys away. Within the APIM gateway, a policy check validates the key and specific rules, checks for expiration, and verifies the key owner. If it is a valid key, a policy sets a green path to the backend data servers. However, a red path is set for any bad guy who possesses a fake or missing key. Policies are if this, then that rules. We can set an inbound policy that states, if key is missing or fake, stop the request. The user on that red path immediately receives a 401 unauthorized error, keeping your backend servers safe. In the fast-moving world of tech, change is the only constant. But here's the problem. If you update your API instantly, you might break the apps that are still relying on the old version. To prevent those broken links and unhappy users, versioning is absolutely vital. Our guide shows 3 common ways to handle this in Azure. First, there's path-based versioning. It's the most popular because it's easy to see. You just put v1 or v2 right in the web address. Next is the query string method. This adds a small note at the end of the URL, which keeps the main address looking clean while still letting the system know which version to use. Finally, we have header-based versioning. This hides the version inside the request envelope. It's the cleanest look for your URLs, but it requires a bit more technical skill to implement. To keep all of this organized, Azure uses version sets. Think of it as one container that holds all your different versions. This allows you to track your APIs easily, keep them organized, and eventually retire or deprecate the old ones once everyone has safely moved to the latest update. It's the best way to ensure a cohesive, manageable network where all your pieces stay tied together safely. Azure API Management doesn't live on an island. It is the heart of a massive, connected ecosystem. In our first quadrant, we see the fortress for secrets. By integrating with Azure Key Vault, APIM can grab security keys at the last second, so you never have to leave dangerous passwords in your code. Meanwhile, Azure Defender acts like an antivirus, constantly watching for hackers. Moving to monitoring and intelligence, Application Insights acts as a live heart rate monitor for your APIs, alerting you the moment things slow down. If you're stuck on a complex security rule, Copilot in Azure is your AI assistant, ready to help you write the code. For connectivity, APIM unleashes powerful workflows. By linking to serverless tools like Azure Functions or Logic Apps, a single user click can trigger a chain reaction, sending emails, updating databases, and notifying managers automatically. In summary, APIM is a complete strategy for the digital age. By using the gateway to protect, the portal to share, and policies to control, you turn internal services into secure, scalable digital products. Whether you're a startup or a global giant, APIM ensures your digital conversations are always safe, clear, and efficient. Welcome to the finish line of our Azure API management journey. We've covered how to build the foundation, from picking the right size building with SKUs to registering your APIs using simple blueprints and opening the developer portal library. We learned to lock the doors using the gold standard of OAuth 2.0 and Entra ID, where every visitor needs a digital key validated by smart if this, then that policies. To keep things from breaking as you grow, we mastered versioning, using paths, query strings, or headers to keep your apps running smoothly. Finally, we saw how APIM plugs into the full Azure ecosystem, using Key Vault for secrets, Application Insights for health monitoring, and AI-powered copilots to guide the way. In short, the gateway protects, the portal shares, and policies control. You're now ready to turn internal services into powerful, secure digital products.